the chat. How's everybody doing today? Now, why is this like this? Okay, there we go. Yep. Now let's pop out the chat. Hey, everybody. How's it going? All four of us, eh? Hey, Cheryl. Where you been? Hey, Linda. Excuse me. Hey, Corey. How's my baby boy? Yeah, I thought I would do because I was so quiet yesterday. No, I wasn't quiet yesterday. I was all over yesterday. Did a movie review. Ordinary Angels. Wonderful movie. Another good movie was War Machine. Everybody, Jenny Bruno, come on in, come on in, come on in. Brenda Hoffer. Oh. So, we're going to do Shuffle Stomp Sunday on Patreon with my patrons after this. And Papa's out working in the garage again. Hey, Lena Kay. Hey, Sue. It's slow, but coming along. Yeah, how is it going with your knees? We're doing Shuffle Stomp Sunday at about 2 o'clock. Maybe 2:30, somewhere around there. I'm very broke and had to cut all extra expenditures. Yeah, I hear you. We got a tax bill for $15,000 and it's been quite the experience. And then I got it all sorted out. It's going to take me a little over a year to pay it off. And then, okay, back when, do you remember when my...
Somebody's here to visit.
You want up on the bed? Come on up on the bed. It's easier for her on the bed. It's much easier for her on the bed. She's getting old, just like the rest of us.
Just like the rest of us. Did you eat all your yums?
Oh my goodness, Gracie. We'll wait for folks to come in. Hey, Judy, begin again. DM. What is this? Am I going to beat you? Never, ever. Oh, did you see that? One stroke. Look. Oh, there it is, right there. Is that it right there? Oh, my goodness. Oh,
Oh, look at that belly. Look at that belly. Look at that.
Oh, yes, right here. Oh, yes. You're just a mummy baby, aren't you? Eh? Oh, my goodness. Gotta come over here. Come over here so I can get your bum. You want me to scratch your bum? You gotta give me your bum. Come here. Over here. Oh, there's this. Oh. Oh. Oh, does that feel good? Oh. And then up here. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, yeah. Oh, you want your ears done, don't you? You want your ears done? Oh, my goodness. Yes. Milking the goat. Oh, big snort. Hey, can Mommy have a kiss? I'm not... There. Oh, that feels good. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. There. All done. Where's your duck? Where's your duck? Go get your duck. No, I'm not scratching anymore. Oh. It's really not the knee. It's from the setback from epidural, lost muscle mass, nerve function. And again, we're working on it. And we found out some of the problems. Oh my God, really? Lost muscle mass from an epidural. Thanks for warning me. Hi, Journey. Well, I mean, you know, no journey is without its, without its pitfalls, right? You'll get there. You'll get there, right? Oh my goodness. Hey, Frida. Give me that. We like this because I can frisbee it. Oh, but the curtain's closed, so. Hey, how's it going? So, yeah, I'm still a little bit mucusy, but it's not bad. I'm still coughing up stuff. I got stuff. My nose is constantly running. So that's what's going on. Yeah, we watched a movie last night called Ordinary Angels. And who's the guy who plays Jack Reacher? Oh, I feel a lot better. Cheryl. It's taking its bloody time, that's for sure. But then Howie is still slightly congested, and he had it a week before I did. So I figure I'm doing a lot better, but I think it's because I take K2 and D3 as a supplement for immune support. So the pain was horrible, so I laid in bed for comfort and legs went downhill from not moving them. Ah, okay. Hey, it's gotta be Kadeen. How are you, darling? Oh, now, if you're a patron, we'll be going into Shuffle Stomp Sunday about an hour after this, or within a half an hour or whatever. Oh, this happened when he had his knee surgery. Was it your knee surgery and they put an epidural in? And I've had a relative who's had one knee replaced twice and the other knee once. So you should be like moving like crazy by now. So that was she waits till I'm distracted. And then she waits for me to look at her. What are you doing? Give me that, Skeeky. Give me that gingerbread man. Oh, you should see the look I'm getting. Give me that gingerbread man. Oh, baby. I'm so sorry to hear that, Corey. Well, are you doing physio though? Now watch. I'll pretend. Now watch. I could have swore that was you. Who's making all that noise? Is it you? You have to work with your physiotherapist, Corey. You have to do more work with your physiotherapist. It's only going to get worse. No matter how much the pain is, you have to work it or it is going to atrophy worse. Do you understand? And use a walker. Use canes if you have to. We're working on this leg and what I can do from home. Okay. Yeah, a walker. I see my walker over there. It's over there with the stool behind the fan. You can't quite see it behind that black fan, so that the wall could be put back up, because it was the corner was peeling down, and I had to ask Howie because my knees won't let me do it today. My knees won't let me do it. But I'm telling you, what is that look? Yeah, I know the language. Okay, you ready? This is much better than just throwing it. Okay. Woo! You'd never know she was 11, eh? We found the secret to longevity, haven't we, Gracie? It's called happiness. Look at Dick Van Dyke. Look at Dick Van Dyke, 100 years old. And you honestly think, I think his longevity, people like him and Betty White and stuff, were because they life was, they treated life with a laugh. You know what I mean? They were happy people. You got a hair on your eye. Hold still. You got something on your eye. Good Lord. Did we get that hair out? Did we get it? Yes, we did. Yes, we did. Ah! I know, now we got one on this one. Oh, that's not hair. That's just snot. Did we get it all? No. Let's get it all. There. Yeah. There. Do. Do 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 do. Do do. Do do. Do. Do do. Boop. Boop. Oh, sorry, baby. I didn't mean to hit you on the head with my hand. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Can you get it? Can you get it? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. She can't get it because I'm going over her nose with the split. All right, come on, mommy throw it. Mommy throw it. Ha ha, frisbee! Okay. Excuse me. Hey, hey, hey! Oh, I know. I don't ever want to think, and I never want to go through what I went through before again. I only pray that I just wake up someday and she doesn't. Okay? That some 4 years from now, right? None of this, the horrible stuff we went through when she was so sick. Got CVAX. Who did? That look is great. Yeah, I know. Cross between a Mona Lisa smile and a side eye. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? How's it going? None of that for me. Hey, Jenny. Hi, Kimmy. Phoebe. Yeah, my face is starting to cave in now. Yep, that's my prayer. Look to comment above. I can't find it, Kadeen. Caught alive. 2 waves. And You got the jabs 4 years ago, it says. That's all I see. Hi, Tina. Gracie, do you mind being quiet, please? Yeah, you heard me. You heard me, okay? No. You lay there and be quiet, or you take your squeaky into the living room. Don't you even. Oh, are you seeing the teasing that's going on here? Looking right at me and squeaking it. Hey! What are you doing? I'm going to take that. Give me this. And I'm going to put it over here. And you're going to lay down and be quiet. Now, if you want your baby, you got to promise not to squeak it while we're doing our live stream. Do you promise? Do you promise? Promise? Hey. You promise me not to squeak. Promise. Promise me not to squeak. Thank you. No squeaking except the initial bite. No squeaking, okay? Here you go. I'm not throwing it. You made a promise. Don't squeak. There. No squeaking. Good girl. Yes, you are. Gracie, Mommy said. So, Mommy said. Thank you. She just went on the bed. Okay, what did I miss here? Maybe it didn't allow it. Heart was in fine 5 years ago. Got that. 4 years ago, doctor convinced me now heart rhythm is totally messed up. Not surprising. Hopefully they can. Hopefully it's something else. Maybe it could be. It could be. Many things. But yeah, I think you're right. Now, of course it does. Of course it pisses you off. It would piss me off. But then, many of you on Patreon were with me on the phone. I did a Patreon and then I deleted it. But I called. This was when they were first rolling it out. And I called my doctor, the nurse practitioner. And the stuff that came out of her mouth, it was like by rote. It was like a memorized piece. She had been saying it so much. The risk of side effects is much less than the risk of becoming extremely ill and even dying from the thing. And it was like boom, 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 like they had read a script so often that they knew it by heart. And I said, do you know this is me, right? The person who has allergies and sensitivities to almost all pharmaceuticals. Do you honestly think it's safe for me? And she went, oh, maybe not. Right? And I said, is everybody in the clinic had it? Yeah, everybody but one. One person didn't get it because they had Bell's palsy from a flu shot. Bell's palsy and bronchial pneumonia from the only 2 flu shots I ever had. So I told her, I said, you don't know my reaction to flu shots because you've never given me one. I said, but this is what's happened. And she went, oh, right? And I just walked out of it, right? But I was on Patreon when I did that phone call. I deleted it, but I was on the Patreon when I was on that phone call. And you could hear it was almost like da 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 da. And I went, but listen. And it kind of broke the rhythm of the parroting that was going on from all, because doctors were threatened. Doctors and clinics and everything were threatened. Yeah. You were with me. Hey, Nat. Our doctor told us not to get it, said wait a few years and see if we needed it to travel. Right? Like we had family members just sit and smile at us when we were at Beavermead saying, well, if you want to go to Florida, you're going to have to get it. I said, then I guess I'm not going to Florida. Right? We haven't left the country since. But that's okay, Dean. We're being very careful. Okay? We're being very careful. So I honestly thank God that I had already been since 2014. I had been paying attention to what was going on in the world. Right? I had become awake before that happened. And that's why, and so by the time this all started, and even I was frightened at first, brought my sister up here and everything, until I started paying attention to how everything was rolling out and how fast it was rolling out and the fear mongering that was going on. And this was before it even came out, that even came out, right? And I was already awake, and they started putting up barricades on the roads and that. And I'm thinking, this is how East and West Berlin started, with barricades on roads before they built a wall. Right? So I questioned and challenged absolutely everything. Absolutely everything. So that's okay. It's all right. We'll be praying for you. We'll be keeping you in our prayers. We keep everybody in our prayers. And today will be a prayer day. It's Sunday. Not that that makes any difference. Prayer is good for every day, right? So, I know I'm a tease. What? It's right there. It's right there. It's right there on the floor. But no squeaking it, okay? Did you get it? It's out there. Go get your gingerbread man. Mommy put it right there. Now you can have it. Oh, God help me. God help me. This is what she does. Where is your gingerbread man? Mommy threw it. It's right there. She made me get up. She said, did you watch her? Did you watch her? She came in and looked around like, no, it's not there, Mom. I said, it's right there. No, it's not there, Mom. She made me get up, open the curtain, and say, look, it's right there. 2 feet on the other side of the curtain. I'm telling you, folks, Gracie is one of the most intelligent dogs I have ever seen. And if I had known she was going to be this smart, I would have trained her a whole lot differently. Did you see that? Being silly saucy. Okay, folks. Now, I know she's a real card, a wild card, a joker. But she's not doing the squeaky, is she? You know, we got to go through these things. She's got to make sure that she's important enough for me to interrupt my stream to do things for her. That's how she knows that Mommy loves her so very much, because I'll do just about anything for her. Yeah, she trained me. That's true. That's true, Kim. That's true. She's trained me. But you know what? I don't really care. Like when you look at it like that, we trained each other. And Howie now pays attention because we'll be watching TV, and she does this every night now. Howie will come in, you get all the baby excitement, and then we'll sit, she'll have gone out just before he came home. I always put her out because she goes to the door. She knows he's coming. So I put her out, bring her back in, give her second can of food around supper time so she doesn't bug us. Okay? But as soon as we sit down and we have our dinner and we finish it, and we're about 10 minutes into a program. So we're all comfortable, right? And then she'll stand in the middle of the floor and look at us and go, and she's got Howie trained that she will not. He's got to get up and put her out for a pee because we're focused on something else. She wants to make sure we're paying attention. So she's been doing this so much every night that the last couple of nights I have said, what do you want? And then she'll go, and I'll say, no, you went out not an hour ago. Get up on the couch and go lay down. And she'll look at me and she'll look at Howie. And I'll say, don't say a word to her, Howie. Because Howie's the weakest link when it comes to her, right? And I'll look at her and I'll say, get on the COUCH. But I won't spell it out. And she'll get up on the couch and she'll turn around a couple of times and she'll sit down behind Howie's legs and go, right? Because I've caught her in one of her other behaviors that says, okay, let's see if they love me enough to disrupt their TV time. Right? When the focus is not on her, she doesn't like it. I know, Kadeen. How do you not, eh? Like, look, now that we've had our discussion, our play, our scratches, our, blah, 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 now she'll do as she's asked. Now she will sit down and relax and be quiet while mommy does this. But notice it's 27 minutes into the live stream, right? So I am going to do myself. I know, that's her thing. How dare you you're not worshiping me. Did anybody ever see that movie, the original Yours, Mine, and Ours with Henry Fonda and Lucille Ball? And where, what was his name? Not Don Johnson. Van Johnson was my mom had a thing for Van Johnson. He was a blonde drunk. But anyway, they decided once they realized one had 10 kids and the other one had 8, they said, nah, this will never work. So they finished their date. And then his friend hooked him up with 2 different people at the same restaurant. And the one chick he hooked up Henry Fonda with, she was a total, let's eat fast and get out of here. And she was rubbing his leg with her stocking foot and stuff like that. Really risque stuff for the 60s. And she said, and he looked over and noticed that she was with somebody else. Lucille Ball with somebody else at a different thing. And the chick took her straw and blew it at him. And said, you're not worshiping me. Hey, Missy! Hey, freaky geek! Yeah, no, she's not narcissistic. She just is what we taught her to be. The baby. I mean, think about it. We had to get rid of Frankie. We had to rehome Frankie because Gracie could be the only dog. You know what I mean? But last I heard, Frankie was happy. I've lost my Facebook account since then. But last I heard, Frankie was spoiled, sleeping, had her own seat in the car, snuggling on the couch, snuggling in the armchair, snuggling in the car. Frankie was spoiled rotten. So I'm really, really grateful to hear that. Too many individually. Okay, everybody, there's 57 people here. Everybody say hi while I get my stuff together here. Hey, Michelle, how's it going? Stephanie! Is that my Stephanie or is that just a regular new Stephanie? Oh, from the UK. Hi. All right. I'm just finishing up sewing our grandbaby's rag quilt. Yeah, I won't be going down to see my grandbaby for Easter. It's just not possible. We, between making payment arrangements for those taxes and then getting a bill. Okay, I meant to tell you this. Okay, so do you remember back when I had to change my bank account? I had to close my bank account and change it and redo everything. There was one payment I couldn't find where to go, like where to go to change it. So I waited. I missed the last two payments of 2025. And then I waited for them to send me a notice saying, hey, what's going on? Right? Because I didn't know where to go. Right? So they sent me a notice and I sent them back a void check and a letter saying, look, my husband can't take time off work to go to what you would call the DMV if you're in the States. I said, I have mobility issues. I never know which office is open and I don't go anywhere without somebody else. So here's the void check. Please set it all up again at this, because I explained to them that my account had been compromised. I had to change it and I had no way of getting a hold of them. So I had to wait for them to notify me that the things bounced. Then I sent back a void check with their letter saying, look, this is what's happened. Please work it out and send it to me. Here's the void check. Send me the list that says when the payments are going to start coming out again. Well, they didn't, did they? I got a notice in the mail on Friday that I owed them $790. And I'm like, and I phoned them and said, I don't have $790. So what we had to do is we had to make one large payment for like $500 and some dollars and then set up payments for the rest. Right? It's like, it's, whatever you do, folks, whatever you do, always, always, always protect your identity online. Okay? I don't care what anybody tells you. Don't give them your banking information. Okay? Now, let's pop out the participants list and say hello to Kimmy Blackrock, Freaky Geek, Frida, Janine DJ. There's a new name. Jenny Bruno, Judy Can't Hide, darling. It's got to be Kadeen, Lena K, Linda Boston, Michelle Jones, Missy Royer, Our Journey Homestead, Phoebe Long, C Crystals, North Carolina, and Stephanie Sue Hagen, and Tina Elliott. And is that all? No, that did not happen from when some bought me from Temu. Somebody wanted to help me with my dentures and getting my teeth out. And they wanted to send me a bank draft directly to my account. But her bank started saying, well, do you know this person? Have you ever met this person? She said, I talk to this person online every day. And they said, yeah, but do you know them? And their bank wouldn't do it. And they wanted more and more and more information. The more I gave them, the more I realized I was giving them everything. So I phoned my bank and said, this is what's going on. This is what I've done. And they went, oh, no. No. We're closing that account right now. And that's what happened. And I had to do this stuff all over again. Dingleberries. Don't you talk about dingleberries. There was a song my uncle used to sing to the boys. Never let your dingleberry dangle in the dust. Roll it up in tissue paper. Oh, wait. Never let your dingleberry dangle in the dust. What the hell was that poem? Never let your dingleberry dangle in the dust. Something, 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 some. Never let your dingleberry dangle in the sand. Wrap it up in tissue paper, hold it in your hand. Never let your dingleberry dangle in the sand. Something like that when I was a kid.
What the?
She honestly thinks she's going to get more lovin's. Gracie, go lay down. Go lay down. Lay down. Lay down. There's your baby, no squeaking. You can lay on it, but no squeaking. Oh, I love you so much. Yes, I do. You wink. Did you see her wink at me? So, yeah, I did not know. Like, Peppy got a tattoo. I had no idea that Gracie was going to become this support animal, right? Yeah, I may have trained her and she trained me, but we work really, really well together. So Howie's like, no, she's fine. It's like, Howie, you're not here 24/7 with her. Well, she's got you trained like a Pavlovian dog. I said, no, Howie. I said, we have routines, and routines are very important, right? Gracie has probably the intelligence of the average 4-year-old. Okay? I had a lovely visit with Bubba and Arthur yesterday, but I don't think we're going to be able to go down for Easter. Too many financial snafus have come into place, and I think we need a break from last year. Last year, Nan passed away on us when we went down for Easter. So she sees the dingleberries, but not the thumb up the nose. I'm not sure I get it. My goodness. She is quite the going concern, she is. Oops. Do you want your baby? Take your baby and lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Get comfy and lay down. Don't stare at me like that. Lay down. That a good girl. She is a sweet girl. She is. But she can be a mouthpiece, too. There. She went and curled up. So, not sure we can afford to go down. And there's also the fact that Howie has to work on that truck to finish it before he can get his car ready for, he's got like 6, 8, 10 weeks tops to get the work he's working on in the garage plus his car, his race car, ready to go. So we will see, won't we? But I've already told Arthur that, I don't think we're going to be able to come down. Don't think we can afford it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that he has what he needs to make Easter special for my grandson. Finally. Yes, we got his appointment with the ophthalmologist rescheduled for the 27th. So all is going well, but we got a lot of things we got to do, especially if he has to have cataract surgery. He's got 2 weeks where he's not going to be able to work. Or a week or something. He's not going to be able to work because there's flashes and stuff like that. So I mean, everything's just kind of converging on spring right now for us. So maybe Arthur can come up here for the day. You know, maybe him and Bubba can come up here for the day. You know, stay overnight at Briar's and then go back down the next day. I don't know. I don't know. But I do know I'm really sad because I got to have a visit with my grandson and Arthur yesterday on Discord. And Edward, I only see him every other week because Arthur's on nights. And when Arthur's on nights, he doesn't have Edward during the day, right? So he is only weekends. And as of noon on weekends, he goes back to his other grandparents' house. So I forgot what I was saying. But I noticed that I didn't see him last week, but I saw him this week, and I noticed he's aged. I'm telling you, you have no idea how fast little children grow until you don't see them for a week, right? For the first 5 years, man, they're just like weeds, right? So, but we had a lovely visit yesterday, and then I talked to Arthur, and I said I talked to Howard, and he said, Bev, I've got so much stuff I have to accomplish between now and May that he said even if we went down for a day, it would take my whole weekend. He has so much work he's got to get done. So I'm going to see if they'll come up just for the day on the Saturday. And maybe, maybe stay overnight at Briar's, right? And because Briar can sleep on his couch and he can give his bed to Arthur and Edward. So we'll see, okay? But it costs us probably $500 to go down for the weekend because we pay for gas. We pay for gas, we pay for food, we pay for a hotel room for 2 nights because we go down the Friday night, stay Saturday night, come home Sunday. And all of these things are really expensive. And we had some nice money when the truck got paid off and the car got paid off. And I was paying down on Fraudstone, where our loan is, and all of a sudden we're back up with these. Now it's only going to be for a year and a few months, right, to pay off these taxes, right, from Revenue Quebec. I still don't know where they get their idea that we owe them money from, but that's besides the point. So, I mean, we're back up to where we were before the car and the truck were paid off because now I'm paying that money to Revenue Quebec for the next 14 months, 16 months, right? So, I mean, it's like you just never get ahead. What they give with one hand, they take with the other. You know what I mean? Oh, he's smart. Yeah, he is. And next week, this coming week, Arthur's on nights, so I won't see him again. You know what I mean? Where's he on days? No, he was on nights last week, so I'll see him all this week. Probably, but he goes home to his other place at noon on Sundays. It's like you should have the whole week to supper, after supper Sunday. Let him go home to his grandparents' house, have a bath, and go to bed. Janine DJ, I followed you for a couple of years, but life happened and haven't seen you in a while. Well, I've been here for 16 years now. I ain't likely to go anywhere anytime soon. You know what I mean? But I am taking it easy. I have slowed down. I can't do the things I did even 2 years ago. Okay? All of my energy right now is going on. Okay, so we have well issues still. And we used to be able to do 2 loads of laundry, run the dishwasher, have a shower, and never have a problem. But ever since the well went dry, it's never come back up properly, even when we had it filled by the fire department. So either we have a cracked tile and it's leaking out underground, or when we had when we had the issues with our neighbor next door before they moved and we enlarged our lot, they used a spring for their water. Now, I don't know if they had a well or not. Okay? But I'm starting to think a big well got drilled next door and is draining the water table. It's either that or I have a cracked tile in my well. So, part-time stalker, freaky geek. Hey, creation, how are you, darling? So, we are having to adjust our water usage. I remember when my sister was here in 2021, 2020, when all the stuff was freaking out and she came to stay with us because she was living in a 22-story apartment building with only 3 elevators, and we had no idea how this thing spread, and she was ill to begin with, right? So I remember, like, do you guys remember when my back in, I think it was 2018, 2016, somewhere around there, my cousin Sean and his wife Brenda came to visit for a few days. And Howie was sleeping in the motorhome, and Sean and Brenda were sleeping downstairs. Brenda and it was evening, so I went out to go for a swim, and Brenda was like, we couldn't sit outside because mosquitoes are so bad in PEI. This was a few years back, because the bats of the island had gotten some kind of fungus disease. And so the bats were dying off, and the bats eat their weight every day in like flying insects at night. Anyway, she was loving just sitting outside. Well, while we were sitting outside and I was having a swim, the pressure cap on our tank downstairs, the pressure tank, blew off and emptied my well under my basement floor, into my basement floor. Now, my basement floor in my utility room is concrete and everything else. And the way the floor was laid is that it's got a very slight decline that sends any flooding out to a gray pipe. So that happened. We had no idea it was going on. Howie was in the motorhome. Sean was asleep downstairs and wasn't paying attention to that the pump was constantly running. And Brenda and I were sitting outside. So when I got in the house and I went to get a drink of water, it was like nothing. So I had to call Howie to come in. And of course, we had to get a new pressure switch and all that stuff. And when we fixed the problem, we forgot that the silt in the bottom of the well had been pulled up into the lines. And it wrecked my washing machine and my dishwasher. So then we had to go out and buy all new appliances, right? So and since then it's never been a problem. But when Wendy came to stay, I'm giving you the reference of why the well went dry once, okay? And then I couldn't water my garden after that, right? And we didn't, it filled back up really quick, but we had to replace our appliances. So when Wendy came in 2020 to avoid the scourge that was going on in the cities in 2020 that we were all terrified of, or we were told to be afraid of, and she had it in her head that every time you wash your hands, you had to do it for 20 seconds. That, and when she got here, she had her bedding with her it was double bagged. So I put that right into the wash and all that stuff. But she was trying to help. And she was running the dishwasher twice a day and running 2 loads of laundry a day and washing her hands for 20 seconds. And I said, honey, you can't run the dishwasher more than once a day. We can't do more than 5 loads of laundry in a week. I would do 2 in one day and then 2 another day, right? And she said, well, blah 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 blah. I said, A, you only have to wash your hands for 20 seconds if you've left the property and gone into the public and come back. Okay? B, all right? I'm on a well. Well, I know what a well is like. I said, no, you haven't had to replace your appliances because your well ran dry. I said, I live in a, it's like my dog. I live in a routine, okay? Now that saved my well, right? I know, always unconsciously, because I grew up from 12 years old on a well, okay? So she said, I know what well. I said, no, you've never had to replace your appliances because your well got sucked silt up into the lines, right? But she wouldn't hear me, right? So but she heard me after that, right? It's like, no, you ask me if it's okay to do a load of laundry or run the dishwasher or run water at all. It's summertime, right? Or it's spring. It was spring, actually. So ever since our well went dry recently, we've been really careful. We had the fire department come in and top it up. We put chlorine in it because we didn't know where the water was coming from, whether it was the cistern or the river, right? And we've been drinking bottled water. Now we stopped buying the individual bottles of water, and Howie brought home the 3 4-liter jugs. Yeah, the 3.7-liter jugs, or almost 4 quarts. 4-quart jugs or whatever, the big jugs, and the 1-gallon jugs. And we stopped buying the bottled water, the bottles, but all the big bottles that we bought, we had like 6 of them. Because see, Howie would fill the bottles up at the sink and take some downstairs, put some in the fridge, all that stuff. But we don't feel comfortable doing that now, right? So since we drank the water in the 1-gallon bottles, Howie has been taking them in a shopping bag when they're empty to the spring in Wakefield and getting them filled there. We have a public spring in Wakefield. So I'm being really, really careful with the water. Like I had a shower yesterday. Howie had a shower yesterday. Howie did a load of laundry today. I did a load of laundry day before yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like we're being really careful because we don't know how delicate a situation our well is in. So it's better to, all that stuff. I remember a sister staying for a while and the cat breakage. Okay, the cat breakage happened in around 2018, before all this COVID crap happened. And then my sister came to stay in the spring of 2020, because remember, she helped me plant my leeks and asparagus and stuff, right? So that's that. So ever since now, Howie's like, okay, don't do a load of laundry. And then today he said, I got to do a load of laundry. I'll put some of your stuff in. And it's like, we're doing a load of laundry twice a week. And it's getting hard to deal with because I want to do bedding, and bedding is a big deal. But the problem is the washing machine. The HE Whirlpool, no center spindle, but the one on the plate spindle on the bottom is a water sucker. I don't give a crap what anybody says, because if it doesn't level properly, it sucks water like crazy. So as soon as I can afford it, I'm going to go look online and I'm going to get a secondhand center spindle washing machine. Tell some jokes and see how much it cracks up. I don't know. I just know we can't afford. I don't know, Linda. I just know there's got to be a reason why our well is so low. at this time of year, especially when water is constantly flowing. It's a spring-fed well, right? I gave mine away. Well, I'll tell you, if I find another one, I just want to spend a couple of $100 on a normal washing machine, right? I don't give a crap that the HE is heavy duty and you can do 3 blankets at once. Because no, you can't. Because if it gets unlevel, it stops and you have to re-level it. And then if it's slightly unlevel, it'll fill up with water and then drain trying to level itself. That's how our well went dry. How was copper wire invented, Kadeen? Yeah, so I'm getting rid of it. I'll give it away. I don't care. I'll sell it, right? And if anyone asks why I'm selling it, I'll say because I can't reach the bottom of it to get all the clothes out because there's no spindle holding them up. And that's it. That's all, no more. Climb down with a bright light to find cracks, but if it's full of water, I've no clue. Well, Howie left the lid off it after we had the fire department fill it. He just put a metal sheet, a piece of flooring over it, and a metal sheet to hold it in place, and so we could keep an eye on it to see what would happen. And he said it's still low, but we're not having any issues. And we're just going to pretend that we have not been so lucky with our well all these years. And we're just going to have to start doing things a little more carefully when it comes to laundry. Hola, Mama Dukes. How's it going? Sure, why copper anything has stopped being used. Why? Because it's healthy. I saw this thing recently. Back before the Rockefellers took over education and medicine and all that stuff, don't think that they didn't. The way society runs today when it comes to medicine and schools and stuff like that, that was all a template laid out by the Rockefellers. Before that, hospitals had tanning beds, tanning decks where you could go out if you had tuberculosis. Even in the cold, you could lay out in the sun and be wrapped up warm to get fresh air. They used homeopathic medicine. All of their drinking utensils were copper. Now everything's they've removed copper pipes. They've removed so many things from houses and stuff. Why? Copper's really good for you. Not if you eat it, but if you use copper pots and pans and cups. It's all making a big comeback. Why? Because it's really good for you. Okay? I'm going to make copper antenna. If I have the energy, the strength, and the copper wire, I'm going to make copper antenna for my garden beds. Right? To see if it makes a difference. I'll do one bed with a copper aerial, and then I'll plant something similar in another, the same thing in another bed, and see what happens. No, I'm not talking. But the thing is if you control, if you think about this, homeopathic medicine is now called alternative medicine. Okay? Natural medicine is called alternative medicine. When did that happen? When the Rockefellers figured out how to own the system, and they made it a law that only modern medicine is able to be called medicine. They have patented the word medicine so that original medicine, homeopathic, is no longer allowed to be called medicine. It's called alternative, but it's original. It's the original stuff. Grab your granny to wash the dishes or cloth. She's old-fashioned. It's not just a heat conductor. It's an energy conductor, right? So apparently, I'm going to do some more digging. And I was going to do this last year, but I just ran out of energy. But apparently, if you wrap copper wire, I think it's 12 gauge, around like a broom handle, and you stick it in the ground, and you take the bottom of the copper and you ground it with something else, a piece of metal or something, and you stick it in the ground, and the copper has to go up to the top of the broom handle, and then it has to be at least 2 feet above your head when you're standing on the ground. And that is free electricity up there. And it catches it. And it helps the plants to grow faster and bigger. So does music. I'm telling you, I'm going to try all kinds of fun experiments this year. Right? So I almost slapped Howie today because he came in from the garage. I made him bacon and eggs. You want to hear something nuts? Howie, we looked it up. Cheerios is the best cereal for low sugar. And Howie eats it without sugar. Just milk. Right? And he'll eat like, instead of a kid's, he'll eat like a larger bowl. And that spikes his blood sugar up to 14 after he eats a bowl of Cheerios. But I made him bacon and eggs and toast for lunch 2 days in a row. Didn't even do it. As a matter of fact, his blood sugar started coming down. So I question everything now. I'm going to have to start getting up and making him oatmeal and bacon and eggs. I'm going to have to start making him breakfast again because summer's coming and he's going to be eating Cheerios all week. Well, yeah, Candy, I know, but check out Deep South Homestead. They did that with copper. It was cool. Okay, Deep South Homestead. Let me write that down. Let me write that down. But they're in the South too, right? So we'll see how it works here, South Homestead. And I have to phone the bank tomorrow and buy more checks because sending them out I have to check that too because apparently Revenue Quebec sent me back 2 checks, said they were duplicates or something. So, hey, Kelly G! 50 degrees when I got up, low of 8 degrees tonight, and along with snow, rain. Yeah, we had snow yesterday. Howie's a lucky fella to have you, Bev. Well, I'm a lucky woman to have him. Because I couldn't live and do half of the stuff that I do if it were not for him. We are a team of epic proportions. We are a team. Yeah, he came in and washed his hands for lunch and dried his hands with paper towel. I said, don't do that. He said, why? I said, because we're almost out of paper towel and I don't feel like going to Costco. Paper towels are for, putting a sandwich on if you don't want to eat dirty a plate kind of thing. In Arkansas, they started blasting at a rock quarry and many wells dried up, including ours. We had to drill a new one. Class action still in progress. Really? Really? Well, how do you find out that happened? Because I don't know what's going on next door. I haven't been over there since the new people took over, but I know there's been a lot of building and working going on. You know what I mean? Yeah, we got snow. What's today? Sunday. We got snow Friday night and yesterday morning. And so Jimmy had to come and plow. 20 years ago, I could answer, but I stopped eating in the mornings. Had you asked that question, okay, hang on. I don't know if the Cheerios are free of glyphosate. I don't know. I don't eat them. He used to have cereal up like on top of the fridge and he'd eat it here, right? Upstairs. And then I would grab a bowl dry and just munch on them. And they're not there, so I don't do it anymore. I live on things like applesauce and cheese. I eat a lot of cheese. Ever since I removed my teeth, I have to eat a lot of cheese. It's B12 and protein, right? Fasting fixes a lot of things. Well, see, I don't eat all day. I don't eat from about 6 in the morning. I don't even eat breakfast. I don't eat all day until supper time, and then I have a snack at night at bedtime. That's probably why I'm fat, but I have to eat a snack to take my meds. So 12 hours, they say 12-hour fast, fast for 12 hours. And one of the reasons why I'm gaining weight, or I am the size I am, is because the fasting should be from 6 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning, where mine is 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night. So, well, they all do. It's like I tried to tell my son Arthur, it's not the wheat, honey. It's not the gluten, it's the glyphosate, right? There's nothing truly organic anymore, especially since the chemtrails. Nothing can be considered truly organic anymore unless it's grown under a dome with sterilized soil. You know what I mean? When I was a kid, do you know what organic meant? Organic meant it grew in the ground or in the water, or it grew. It lived. That's what organic meant. It was living material. Plants, animals, right? Now, then they switched organic so that if, when GMOs started, they switched the organic so that it couldn't be called organic if it was genetically modified, right? They slip shit into place before we even know it's there, and then we're getting sick and we don't know why. But it's too late to change it. I marched against Monsanto. I marched for the legalization of marijuana. I marched for medical autonomy. And I was at the convoy. So you know who I am today, right? Monsanto isn't even Monsanto anymore. They were bought by Bayer. Bayer aspirin. Bayer is now a huge... How does a pharmaceutical company end up owning a seed company and everything it's sprayed with? Gee, do you think there's a closed loop for creating customers there? Because if the food is no longer healthy for you, you must take medicine, modern treatments. So it's all a big loop. We've been made ill by man's greed, and man's greed is keeping us ill and keeping us in the pharmaceutical industry is spraying our food with chemicals, and then it gives us chemicals to cure us when we get sick. Tell me that's not a closed system for massive money making. Roundup is glyphosate. Roundup is still out there for the idiots who... I remember when we lived in Wakefield before we bought this place, and we lived across the street from Josie. And Josie and Harold, this was before I had a YouTube channel and I was working at the bakery, before we moved up here. I didn't start my YouTube channel until we were up here, right? And I was planting a garden next to my driveway. So I was tearing up all the grass and setting it aside and putting down mulch and all that stuff. And my friend Josie, who at the time was like in her late 60s, early 70s, she's passed away now, God rest her soul. She said, just spray it all with Roundup. And I looked at her and I said, what do you mean, Roundup? She said, yeah, it kills all the plants. It'll kill all the grass. I said, and then go directly into my well. She said, oh, no, it gets washed away and filtered through the soil. And I said, Josie, we live in a closed environment. What does that mean? That means, well, maybe we don't anymore because we don't know where the hole in the ozone layer went because they stopped talking about that, just like they've stopped talking about the Ukraine and Russia. It's all Iran now, right? Bait and switch our attention. This is what's going on. So I said to Josie, she said, oh, no. I said, Josie, we live in a closed environment. She said, I went to school. I said, did you? I said, because a closed environment means the atmosphere is essentially the lid on our jar. Okay? Picture a big jar with a piece of plastic over top. So when you burn something, smoke goes up into the atmosphere, hits the lid, and comes down in rain. She said, yeah. I said, but if you're putting poison in the soil, what doesn't stay in the soil gets evaporated up, hits the atmosphere, and comes back down. It's a closed system. So poisoning anything is poisoning us. And nobody seems to get that. This was a well-educated woman who worked at a bank and owned a business and all that stuff, right? The basics of biology when it comes to that. White vinegar and salt kills weeds. The vinegar has to be 75%. Well, see, I won't do that either. Right? I'll pull weeds. Period, full stop. I'll put landscape fabric down. I just might do that this year for my celery. Right? Put landscape fabric down and poke holes. Right? In a big terrarium. Yes, we do. So it doesn't matter what they tell you. They're poisoning our food, our soil, our air, and our water in a jar with a lid on it. Tell me that the reason we're always so sick and more diseases and all this stuff are coming up. Why? Because we live in a sick system. We live in a system that's poisoning us. So, yeah, we can tell ourselves, oh, I'm eating organic and I'm doing this. You can do all those things you want. But in reality, it only makes that much difference. All we can do is avoid the toxins that we know about. Right? And pray. So, that's right. They used to say that soil had to lay fallow without any chemicals or anything on it for 7 years before it could be considered organic. I don't think any land can be considered organic anymore. Do you? When two attorneys were fighting over a penny. That's how copper wire was invented. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so for all those who care to, let's have a prayer moment, okay? And listen, folks, you don't have to believe in anything to stay and partake of the love and the joyful energy that we share during our spiritual prayer time. Call it prayer, call it meditation, call it loving vibrations, call it whatever you want. But let's pull together, hand to hand, heart to heart, across the world. Okay? We have a filter on Howie put a filter on our well water. And I'm still not drinking tap water because I no longer understand where it's coming from. Okay? So, like Howie said, oh, you go to do, I said, I'm going to do a load of laundry in a couple of days. And he goes, well, you're the one phoning the fire department if the well goes dry. And I said, no shit. Right? So, for all those who care to, and please know that it is 2:17 p.m. and at 3 p.m. we will be doing Shuffle Stomp Sunday. Okay, so all patrons, Shuffle Stomp Sunday is starting at 3:30, depending on where I go from here. Okay. Yeah, and in mobile home parks, they have their own wells, right? Anyway, let's do some deep breathing. First 2 breaths, shove the crap out of your lungs really hard. Okay? All right. Hey, God, All Father, Source, Creator, thank you for bringing us together today so that we could talk about the reality of what it's like to live on this planet. And know that we've been lied to for so many millennia. But thank you, God, for letting us see the truth and letting us live the truth to the best of our abilities. God, there's people out there that are struggling with well issues, health issues, financial issues, addiction, neglect, all of these things that make it more important every day that we have you, Creator. Because, we got family and we got friends, but we need you more than anything every day. So, God, we lift everybody up to you so that the light of your love can pour down over us and fill us with your love. So that we glow with it. We're so full of the light of your love. And that even if we don't see it, we may be shining light in the darkness for somebody else. So thank you, God, for bringing us together and helping us to maneuver our way through a very evil time in history. Yeah, it is. Amen. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet. Blessed be. Walk in the shining light of God's love. Miigwech. Whatever language you use, as long as it's the language of love, God always hears. Sometimes the answer is no, because God knows better than we do. But we just have to have faith, right? Take care. God bless. Hey, patrons, I will see you at 3:30 for our Shuffle Stomp Sunday. Okay? I love you guys. Take care. God bless. And we will see you 3:30. All right, patrons, see you at 3:30. God bless. Thanks for being with me. You know that? I mean, I don't come on here to be in front of the world. I come on here to be with you. And as long as you're here with me, I'll always come. Okay? Take care. God bless.